G'day and welcome to another episode. My name is Daethstro, the Aussie Geek, and today we will be finishing up, and I don't know why I didn't fix that up before I started recording, the X-Transbot Virtus, aka the Springer, from helicopter mode to robot mode. Now, if you haven't seen him transform from car mode to helicopter mode, you can use the link above or just have a look through my recent post, because this is getting posted pretty much an hour after. Now I'm just going to take this off and I'm just going to form his sword back together, and we'll get onto that in a minute. Also, I had the idea of doing like an accessories video after this, but I'm like, you know what, most of the accessories I need to do when I actually show the figure, so I don't know if I'll still do that. If you see a third video, you know why I did that. But let's get down to transforming this guy into robot mode. So this is going to come down and slip up, seam on both sides. We will leave that for the moment because we need to get all this undone. So we're going to come under here, flip this in, we're going to flip that down, and it's going to rub against the back of his head. So I haven't noticed any scratch marks on the back, so I'm hoping it stays that way. We're going to pull this out and flip this all the way up just for the time being, like so. And then we can come in here after we untab these pieces, providing they stay that way. Come in here like in the previous video and pull out so the whole top half lifts up, and we will fix that up in a minute. Alright, so we'll also leave that, so we'll do the legs and go from there pretty much. So you're going to split all this down the middle, just get it nice and split. It'll use a couple of ratchets, you'll be right. Alright, so what we're going to first do is we're going to come here and unplug that, so that goes back in. We rotate this back around this way, yep, this way, and fold that in. We're going to untab this, if it hasn't already, and bring that around. We're going to rotate the leg back to where it was, and we're going to slide the hip back where it was. Alright, so we're going to leave this in because we don't want it out. Where's our foot? Here's our foot right here. So, I'm trying to remember how this works. Oh, that's right. So you're going to, actually fold this way, doesn't it? So this is going to fold up here. So this is basically your knee. And this folds down. We'll get the wheel back in place. That shimmies across. Probably help more if I show it. Just sort of a shimmy to this forward. Where are we? This is going to fold out. This is going to fold down, and then it's going to fold in, and I think I might actually have his leg around the wrong way. I do too. So this is actually going to need to twist. So it's going to need, so this is your inside leg, inside your leg. And there's a tab, sorry for all the clanking, there's a port here and a tab here. So that's going to tab in to the side there. This is going to come down and lock back into place for your ankle. Rotate that back where it was for helicopter mode. This is going to come up. We're going to rotate this up and around. It doesn't really go anywhere. So here's what it is. And then that just tabs into the sides. And as long as everything lines up properly, just give it a squeeze until it's all there. I really do need to screw that in. And honestly, this guy needs a better heel. Come on. Stay. There we go. So one leg done. 1 second. Be back. Okay, so for a little while, this guy's going to be very back heavy. Alright, so let's go and do the torso. This bit can be a little iffy. I did watch MGo's video on this just to get some helpful tips, and so far I haven't really had to worry too much about, and it's running paint chipping, but I'm not taking the chance, although I have popped this out. So what you're going to want to do is fold all this out. I might have to move the camera up a little bit, but basically you're going to use the ab crunch, and you want to bring it out as far as it goes. If you pull this too far, that whole thing's going to pop out, and you're going to have to pop it back into place. So try to find the limit. Right, so bring all that up, and what you're going to do is you're going to push from the back here, one side, doesn't matter which one, because you want to get it past there. Now, people say that they get paint chipping because that's in the way, because it's literally sitting in the middle. But once you've got one side out, the other one's fine. But I haven't really had any paint chipping. Like so. Then you can put that ab crunch back. He's still going to probably fall over while I do this, but it is what it is. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to shimmy up a little bit, because this tab needs to go into here. So like so, and then you spin it, because this piece is going to go into this groove. Like so, and then bring it down, and that other tab really should have had another tapping spot. So, ooh, I think I actually have a stress mark. Yep, I got a bit of a stress mark right there. So, yeah, be careful with that. It's probably from trying to get that tab in place. Alright, so, yeah, that's in the right spot. So this is all going to come around the front now. We're going to leave that for the moment, because that's going to be another big step. Alright, so we need to finish this backpack. Alright, so you're going to push this back in. That doesn't really matter. We're going to fold that down, fold this around. You're going to bring this up. I'm trying to remember how this works, because all this has to fold in. So we're going to have to get all this down to here. So fold that, slide all the way down as far as it'll go. Then you can bring this in, or try to bring this in. And this has to stay out. This is another piece, because this is going to go into here. If that folds in with it, it's going to get stuck. So give me a second, I'll just do the other half. Alright, there we go. Now, excuse me. I'm trying to remember which way these go. So I think this faces out, so this flat piece is, because this is all going to have to go in. I'm going to try my best to do it. It's all going to rotate in. That one worked well. Come on. It also compresses. I'm just trying to remember which way these fold. I think they might actually fold so they sit out. So if I try to get that so it's aiming that way, yeah, we'll try that. Just trying to keep it flat enough, because that's gone in. That's gone where it's supposed to go. Hang on. Okay, so I think I've worked it out. You need this curved, so it sort of has, so this has to basically stay at the top, and I turn these wheels back out again, and I realized I haven't put that back in place. Oh, that'd be right. Everything else, forget that step. That goes back in there, that goes back in there. It's probably also part of the reason it was fighting me. So that's going to fold in there. It should. No, I have done that as tires wrong. Jeez, I'm going well with this. Okay, I've worked it out. So the tire has to be facing inwards. I apologize for anyone trying to keep up. So that's going to fold in like that. Just give it a bit of a squish. It'll probably squish actually better afterwards. Actually, half the time I don't even think it's supposed to squish with my legs untabbed. But anyway, so this is going to, you need to keep these green pieces facing forwards, because these are going to tab into here. Oh, come on, where are you doing it? Oh, that's right. These have also got to fold up on themselves, which is going to feel nasty and bad, but it needs to be done. So then they can tab into the back. I think one is just slightly off. There we go. So that's our backpack done, and my legs falling apart. I like this figure, but there are times I really wish I'd tried the fans toys. So there we go. So we won't worry about the arms just yet. Now we have to figure this out. Now, this is going to be fiddly. It's going to be annoying. So you're going to follow all that out. You will notice I'm missing a tab. I'm hoping I can get around that. So this is all going to come out. If I can get my nail into it. And it doesn't quite lift up enough. And honestly, I think I'm going to end up snapping these two. Because what's going to happen is these have to go under here. This is going to go under his neck. So it's just a matter of fiddling with things. Try to get those. See if that does any difference. There we go. So you sort of have to flatten these joints. So I'm popping joints again. So get that under there. And then sort of, hope you can, I don't know how well you can see it, but I'm just sort of pressing gently down on that flap to get that in place. Give it a squeeze, and for the most part, the head is where it's supposed to. And honestly, I hate the ratchets in the legs. And to finish off, we can fold this around. That taps into the front. This folds in. Pull this out, gives you your bicep articulation. Rotate the hand, and voila. And so on the other side, which that ended up pulling out first, rotate that around, tab that in, flip this forward, rotate the hand, and there is Springer all transformed. I don't know why that leg has not tabbed in properly. 1 second. There we go. Now, this is what I mean by ankles, right? If you notice, he's going backwards. There needs to be something under him that just lifts it up. His feet are not strong enough, in my opinion, and considering all the metal and everything, to keep him from falling back. I've tried using these, nothing's worked. So eventually maybe somebody will figure something out, but even if, like I said, if I use that, it'll just probably end up folding up. Yeah. Doesn't really do anything anyway. But you can get him situated in a decent pose, and he will look, like, honestly, look at him from the front. If you look at him from the front, even with that, you know, he looks perfectly fine. So it's only when you look him from the back and realizing he's tilting back. And it's not even weight, it's just his feet. He has no proper heels. He needs proper heels. All right, so that's one of my big complaints, is his back heels. Now, he does have some other accessories, and I'll try to get through these quickly. He does have these forearm guns from the 86 movie. He has them on both sides. He has, of course, his sword. And he has all this rigmarole. He has card of course instructions. Just put him on to the side for a minute so I can bend this up. Hopefully everything won't fall down. He has multiple faces. He does have a, now that I've done that, I probably can't get it out anymore. To save me fighting with the foam, I've taken out things. So he has a IDW head if you want. So that looks nice. I don't know if you can swap the face out, but basically to get the head off and to get his faces changed, there's a little locking key, and basically you just turn the head the right way and pull and it pops off. He has the missile from the 86 movie, where he has something better to do than to die tonight. He has 2 laser pieces, which can go into his guns. So he has Pure Effects. He has, I can't remember the episode name, but he has his little self where he turned into human, thanks to Cobra Commander. Now, before we run out of time, the guns. This don't work. That had to get modified. That got fit. So the problem with it is, if you open his hand up, is that this is too small. That's the right size. That's too big. So that won't go in because of the butt of that. I had to shave this. Hopefully I got the right way around. But I can't really get that in either. That's a pain in the butt. So the sword's out and the other gun's out. The only one I can get is to fit is this one. So he does hold that perfectly fine. So that one looks better, but yeah, that one's port too small and you need to modify that one to fit. So it is what it is. As you can tell, I'm not doing articulation because honestly it takes too much time and you can pretty much tell all the articulation. But as for size comparisons, there he is with Siege Springer. For one of his fellows, here he is with Fans Toys Coot, their cup. And of course, here he is with MP10 because Ultra Magnus right now is stuck and so is Hot Rod. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give me a thumbs down. I promise you it will not hurt my feelings. Obviously, I'm not doing the accessory video, so that's one less video you have to watch. But thanks for watching and I'll catch you later.